my name is Ty Vomsal. This is EDL Module 1, School Level Governance, Fiscal Responsibilities of a School. So like I just said, my name is Ty Vomsal. I'm an educator because it allows me to provide guidance and be a role model and a positive influence on the lives of students, as well as provide them with a safe place to take risks, learn, and grow. I love to build positive relationships and share and teach my real-world skills that will help any learner feel more confident in themselves and their abilities. In my professional life, I'm an educator, role model, and colleague. I'm starting my 8th year of teaching at Fort Collins High School in Fort Collins, Colorado. I teach family and consumer sciences, which is a broad subject area. So I specifically focus in on the culinary and nutrition pathway. Mostly I teach culinary 1 and 2, as well as a concurrent enrollment version of it. And then nutrition and wellness, and occasionally teach a financial life management course as well. I'm also starting my 2nd year as co-department head at my school. We have just been kind of greenlit on our project to build a new industrial grade kitchen for our program. So that is going to take a lot of additional time and focus for me and my other department head during this next academic school year. I'm also starting my 1st year as the Fort Collins High School golf coach. So going to try that out, see how that goes. And my professional goal is just to expand the program and influence to reach as many students as possible, to impart life skills and knowledge, and to help students prepare for life outside of high school. In my personal life, I like spending time with my friends, my family, and dogs. I've got 2 dogs, Cedric and Taco. You can see them down here. Cedric's this red heeler, and Taco is the little Chihuahua. All my friends, my siblings, my girlfriend. I like being outdoors and active. I like hiking, camping, going to the gym. I spend a lot of my time golfing, so probably a good idea to start in on that coaching as well. And then one of my favorite activities to do, especially in the summer when I have a lot more free time, is cooking and developing new recipes. I love cooking. It's kind of like a stress reliever for me. But recently I've been very involved with the Colorado Avalanche hockey. Go Avs. Made it to the Stanley Cup Finals last night, so hoping they can keep that roll going. As far as the articles and the back half of this assignment, the recurring themes on the fiscal responsibilities of a school, starting with reoccurring theme number 1 for school level governance. All of the articles that discussed and related to the school level governance, we're all kind of pushing the same general point, is that principals and school leaders should have a lot more of an active influence on the money and how it's going to be spent and how it's allocated and what they do with it when it comes from the variety of different sources that it comes from. Obviously, there's that trade-off of centralized versus decentralized, and you don't want to have all of the power in just the individual school sites as opposed to like a district or a central office site, because there are some things that still need to be handled from the district level, things like the transportation, the HR costs, all of the payroll, all of that stuff. That's a good idea to have at a central site, but giving the principals in the schools and the school leaders a little bit more of the power to recognize what the specific needs of their students and their teachers and their population is, and be able to make better decisions with the money that they are allocated to address those needs on a more individual level at each individual site. So how does this theme support student achievement success? School level governance improves innovation and efficiency and strengthens accountability by setting clear district-wide goals for student learning, providing schools with the autonomy over the use of funds, and includes an accountability system to ensure that programs are effective. How is this theme data informed? Data is essential because it ensures that the schools achieve its goals, establishes control systems, and motivates employees to work harder. It also helps to define time periods within objectives for which objectives should be met. How did this theme address laws, policies, and regulations? The role of the principal in the financial management has multiplied with the rise of technology, new legislation requirements, and the pressures of the economy. And according to the U.S. Constitution, the governance of schools is the responsibility of individual states that are best equipped to recognize and meet the needs of the students in that state. Kind of similar to that school level governance, letting the individuals who have the closest relationship with the schools and the students make the decisions that are best for their individual populations. Things that I have seen or not seen in my school principal and why. First, I want to start by saying our school principal is new to her role within the last semester. Our previous principal was reassigned at the beginning of second semester, and so I haven't had a lot of interaction with our new principal, or really a lot of background into how she runs things. So I'm going just purely based off of what I've learned about her in about a semester's worth of time. But from what I have seen, Ms. Stiers has a lot of control over how funds are being allocated and used to the best interests of our individual population and needs. She's already started to make changes, investing in high needs areas, expanding options for students. She's kind of done away with some of our loss sustaining programs, things that were not helping to improve student success or graduation rates or anything like that, and we're more just hemorrhaging money. So based off of what I've seen so far, she's got a lot of experience with the school level governance piece. Reoccurring theme 2, student success and adult well-being. How does this theme support student achievement success? Student-based budgeting can change the game for students by increasing funding equity across schools and empowering principals to design schools to meet the needs of their students and their unique student needs. Kind of going back to that last point, similarly with the school level governance, being able to be in more control of what your money is being used for at your individual site can help you to better address and support student success and adult well-being by using that funds to target specific areas for improvement or for additional support in order to help to improve both the adult and student well-being and success. How is this theme data informed? Increasing per pupil spending increases the probability of high school graduation by 7 percentage points for all students and by roughly 10 percentage points for non-poor students. Increases in teacher wages have also been associated with increased student achievement, presumably because more capable teachers are recruited and retained. Again, if you're using the money to support the students and the adults and their success, positive student achievement and adult achievement will follow. How did this theme address laws, policies, and regulations? The American Rescue Plan will support students and adults in recovering from academic and mental health challenges that were induced and exacerbated by the pandemic. And then things that I have seen or not seen in my school principal and why. All decisions that Ms. Stiers make are for the benefit of the students and the well-being of her staff. In her short time, she has invested in many staff appreciation and support initiatives, as well as providing extra resources and opportunities for students, things like hiring math tutors, engaging with community for funding and resources, hiring additional counseling staff to handle workload for off-track seniors. She's hired an attendance interventionist to help to mitigate the effects of our honestly terrible attendance policies and just terrible attendance as a whole. But the investments are being made and they're always backed by data showing a need for additional funding to promote student success and adult well-being. Reoccurring theme 3 was data-informed decisions. So how does this theme support student achievement success? Good financial practice means managing money and money processes so that the budget is aligned with the school's strategic plan. So again, having that strategic plan that is backed by data and making decisions that align with that school strategic plan and that data is just part of good financial practice. Principals need to speak up for their students, but that means being very clear on what the numbers and data say and using that information to drive decisions on where money is being spent best. How is this theme data informed? Gathering data input from communities and running those numbers will help principals to use that feedback to press the district for solutions that will work for the kids at their individual schools. How did this theme address laws, policies, and regulations? More principals need to be trained on financials for school districts with the additional requirements by the Every Student Succeeds Act that will require schools to publicly report school by school spending. Data-driven decisions about centrally managed resources can assist in keeping schools consistent in curriculum adoption, transportation, groundskeeping, and HR-related functions. And then things that are seen or not seen in my principle. Ms. Stiers uses data and data collection to drive and defend the decisions she makes in the school, especially related to the budget and where the money is allocated or taken away. She never makes decisions without weighing the data compared to the costs and potential benefits of those costs. Reoccurring theme number 4 for equitable resource plans. How does this theme support student achievement success? Shifting to a decentralized budget system empowers principals to hire more classroom teachers, thus reducing class sizes and improving student performance and overall staff morale. That's part of having an equitable resource plan, using those resources in a way that will improve student performance, staff morale. Good things follow when students are performing well and the staff wants to be there and engaged in the students. And by developing data-driven, community-vetted cost-equivalent trade-offs, principals can help the public and their staff understand the menu of options and use them to inform the spending plan. So again, you're getting the community involved. You're making decisions that are data-driven, that are equitable for all of your individuals within your specific population, including your outlying community, whether that's specific parents and family members of school students, or people who have gone through the school system, live near the school, have some sort of investment in the school. It takes a village. So keeping them informed and keeping them in the loop about the resources, the costs, the benefits, all of that good stuff is part of an equitable resource plan. How is this theme data informed? According to an assistant professor of leadership and education, a large body of research demonstrates that school funding has a significant impact on school achievement. I think we could probably have guessed that. School management has the responsibility of providing and maintaining a true and clear record, which exhaustively identifies the source and the use of the school funds. So, not only being able to use the money for good things for your school, but being very transparent about how that money is being spent, where these resources are coming from, why you're making those decisions, how it's going to improve the school or the students or the staff, whatever it is that you're trying to get to. Okay. How did this theme address laws, policies, and regulations? With new provisions in the Every Student Succeeds Act, they will require that the school level financial data and financial transparency is available, and will ensure that the money is being spent by principals and school boards that are being driven by data, and the decisions will yield the greatest benefit for students. So again, being transparent is part of an equitable resource plan, being transparent about how the money is being used and making sure that it is data driven and it will yield a great benefit for the students. Things that have been seen or not seen in my principle. A decentralized budget system is employed to an extent in Poudre School District, and Ms. Stiers has done a good job so far of making sure that the plan that we have for our resources is equitable for programs throughout the school, and PSD does a good job of making sure that the money is allocated equitably where it is needed throughout the district. Last reoccurring theme for finance, laws, policies, and regulations. How does this theme support student achievement success? Over the last 25 years, court orders or legislative action improves spending levels and decreases disparities, which has led to improved student performance, particularly among low-income students. How is this theme data informed? State and district policymakers need to make adjustments on how principals control and use money to give principals and district more discretion over money. California's local control funding formula does exactly this, and early research has given the reform high marks, with 82% of superintendents agreeing that it better aligns goals and resources. The federal funding set aside to schools is distributed directly to the local schools, but a local school can deny funding if the state does not wish to participate in the program that the money was allocated for.